Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well, and I hope you either had or are having or did have or about to have an amazing New Year's, because I'm not really sure when this is going up, so you know, one of those will fit you perfectly. So coming up to the end of the year and thinking about what I wanted to put out video wise towards the end of the year or the start of the new year, I don't know what is going on. And what I really wanted to think about and to talk about is the things that I learned from YouTube this year, from watching YouTube, from making a YouTube channel. This has kind of been my first, well, it has been my first full year on YouTube. Yeah, and so I guess I feel like I've learned a lot about myself. I feel I've learned a lot about other people, and I feel like I've learned a lot of lessons. So yeah, I decided to make a video on the 10 things that YouTube has taught me this year. It's taught me a lot more than 10, but these are the 10 biggest things, the most important things, the things that have made the biggest change in me or growth in me, I guess you would say, are the biggest life lessons from YouTube in 2018. It's 2018, right? I think the number one lesson from YouTube this year is that if you want to do something, do it. Don't let anything or anyone stop you. Certainly don't let fear stop you. Life is too short to not give everything a go that you feel like that you'd like to or that you think you might enjoy. Certainly not because of other people. Certainly not because you're afraid. Certainly not because it may or may not work out. Go for it. It's one life, it's your life, and it's a short life. Just do it. Lesson 2, you cannot please everybody all of the time, and you really shouldn't bother trying because it's never going to work out. And if you keep trying to do it and it keeps not happening, it's just disappointing. You can't make everybody happy. One of the videos that I got like the most hate for this year was my divorce video, yet it's also the video that was, to me, the most important video I put out last year, because although I got a lot of hate from very angry men on that video, 90% of the comments on there, even 95% on there, were people telling me how it changed their life, it helped them, it like healed them in some way, it allowed them to move forward in some way. So honestly, the fact that a few people got angry about the fact that I was being open and honest about something that happened to me, for whatever reason is going on in those people's lives, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I cannot make those people happy. You know, unless I had been a man, I honestly don't think I could have made those people happy or made them like the video or made them like me at all. And honestly, it did not matter, because the 95% of people who needed that video got it, and that's really what matters. Number 3, along those same lines, you are not responsible for changing or bettering other people. I started off on my YouTube channel just trying to spread kindness and love and happiness to anybody, especially those people who were coming from the other direction of being very hateful and very mean and very negative all the time. I was always trying to lift those people up and show them kindness. And do you know what? It took so much from me to do that, to be constantly being hit by negativity and just nastiness and meanness whilst trying to push out all this happiness and love and kindness towards those people. And it really did not work. It took a lot from me, and it really just seemed to, you know, make them more angry, honestly. So I think just, again, remembering that some people, especially strangers on the internet that you know nothing about and honestly can't have that much of an interaction with, they are not there for you to save. It's not your job, your responsibility to make other people happy or to make other people better. All you can do is be the best person, the kindest person that you can be, and that kind of spreads by itself, and that is the best that you can do. Anyone who's open to going down that path and being a kinder, better, happier person will get those vibes from you, and anyone who isn't, you can't help them anyway. Lesson number 4, there is 1,000,000 times more kindness, happiness and good in this world than there is bad. I can 100% guarantee you that. So if you feel like that isn't true, I promise you it is. The good more than drowns out the bad everywhere, even on social media. I promise you that. Number 5, help and support is always available for those who need it. I'm pretty sure that's a quote from Harry Potter. I'm pretty sure. There's a lot to be learned from Harry Potter. That's, you know, a bonus lesson. But yeah, I mean, I have seen so many people ask for help or ask for questions in my videos, particularly on that divorce video. If you want to be inspired and uplifted, go and look through the comments on my divorce video, because the number of people who have just told their story or said, you know, this is what I'm going through, or this is what's happened to me, and immediately all these strangers are just rushing in to support that person, to lift that person, to encourage that person that they don't know from Adam. They are an absolute stranger on the internet. And if that doesn't prove point 4, then I don't know what will, but it certainly proves point 5. You may feel alone, you may feel like you've got no friends, you've got no one to talk to, but you know, on YouTube and on the internet and just in day to day, there is so much help and support and love out there, and I see it all of the time, especially for those who really, really feel alone and like they have nobody and have nobody to help and support them. It will come if you ask for it. Number 6, pick your battles and let the rest go. This was a really tough but really important one for me, because I want to fight every battle. If I feel like there's an injustice, if I feel like there's something that's unfair or not being true that's being said, I feel like I have to defend myself, or I have to fight, or I have to prove them wrong. And honestly, it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. You know, you don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to defend everything. You don't have to prove everything wrong every single time to strangers on the internet. You definitely don't have to do that. Pick your battles. If something really, really means it to you and you have to fight and you have to prove it and you have to do it and you have to change someone's mind because it really, really matters to you, fine. But ask yourself, does it really matter? Because if the answer is no, let it go. Number 7, YouTube can do so much good. So much good. I think a lot of people get trapped in the negativity or the drama of it, but I have seen amazing things happen from YouTube this year. One of the biggest things that I've seen that I've loved seeing is people really challenging brands over things like shade ranges, and I feel like that really comes from YouTube. You might see it more on Instagram because that's where people post directly to the brands and can shout about it to the brands and post replies on photos of shade ranges that suck and are no longer good enough. Well, they were never good enough, but we really are being vocal about it now. People are standing up and having voices. People are, you know, talking about injustices and talking about how they feel about these things like inclusion and racism and like all the different kinds of unacceptable behavior that we really never had a platform for. People are speaking up and are not being afraid to anymore, and I think it's really changing lives. And I see it so many of the beauty community whose channels have become so much more than just about makeup now, and you just really see so many people being touched by it, uplifted by it, not feeling like there's something wrong with them, because there's, you know, there is someone of every type of personality and look and appearance and preference on YouTube, that no one can possibly go on YouTube now and feel like they're a freak, because everybody is kind of catered to on YouTube. Number 8, this is our space and we can choose what that means. So what I mean by that is that, you know, my channel, our channel, this is our space. I used to think, you know, it's really bad to like block people or to, you know, delete comments and all of that kind of stuff, and I do it as little as possible. I saw a really interesting video from Samantha March either yesterday or the day before, where she talked about her, I think it was her honest YouTuber tag from Mull, and she talked about, you know, blocking comments and all that kind of stuff. And the way she looks at it is that her YouTube channel is her house, and when she puts a video up, it's like she's throwing a house party and she's inviting everybody to come. But if you start acting like a butthole or causing drama, or, you know, throwing drinks, or just really being a negative impact on the party, she's gonna ask you to leave, because this is her house. And I was like, do you know what, that is like such a great way of looking at it, and I totally agree with that. And I think I've been afraid of that before, but do you know what? I have to protect my house, I have to protect my guests, which is you guys, and I know that none of you want that either. And I don't think I realised that until the second half of this year, that as much as negativity and nastiness and bullying may affect me, it also affects a lot of you guys too. When you're reading through the comments, you don't want to see it either. And I think maybe it was being a little selfish of me to allow these people to stay, because I just, you know, didn't feel right about blocking people, or thought it was, you know, not okay, or it's freedom of speech or whatever. And actually, it's not just me who has to see it, it's all of you. And from now on, I'm gonna keep my house in order, because this is my channel. And I think people get really angry and say, how dare you censor people? How dare you delete comments? How dare you block people? This is the internet's freedom of speech. But actually, that's what that button's for. Number 9, you can find common ground with anybody. The amount of people that I chat to all the time on my channel, that I've met on my channel, that follow me on Instagram, that in real life, our lives may have been so different. We're different ages, we live in different continents, we enjoy doing different things, we're totally different personalities, but we can chat and get on like a house on fire because we found something in common. And I really think that's an important message, because I think a lot of the time we dismiss people, or we choose not to socialize with people because they aren't our type of person, they're different to us, we can't relate to them. And honestly, I just feel like there's so much good in everybody to be found. And if you can find common ground with random strangers from the other side of the world on the internet, you can definitely do it in real life. And number 10, I think the most important thing that I've seen on YouTube this year and that I've learned from YouTube is that the right comment, the right kindness, the right reaching out of a hand to someone can legitimately save lives. I just think the right touch at the right moment, the right person, just a word of kindness can really turn someone's whole life around. Someone who hasn't had kindness, who's feeling very, very low. And it works the other way too, absolutely. The wrong comment, the wrong person, the mean thing that you said, that button that you press. I think it's so important to be aware of everything we say. And the biggest lesson I'm trying to teach my daughter at the moment, because she's just started school, is that you will never ever regret being kind, regret showing kindness or reaching out a hand to somebody. Well, every single day in our lives we have a choice, and we'll have moments where we choose to be kind or to ignore or to even be mean. And if you choose kindness, whoever that person is, whether they deserve it or not, whether that's what they're showing or not, you can never feel bad about showing kindness or being kind or taking the kind option, regardless of the circumstances. But I know if we choose to do nothing, or if we choose to be mean, we will always somewhere feel bad about that, and we'll always regret that in some way, shape or form. So everybody can show a little bit more kindness. And there you have it. Those are the 10 biggest, most important lessons that I've learned in the last year on YouTube. I'd love to know what yours are in the comments down below. I know there are so many that I missed out, but those were the kind of 10 that really stuck out to me as being really, really important. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have the most amazing year next year. I know it's going to be so much better than last year. And I hope to see you in a future video. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye, 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 bye.